Alright, welcome back everybody to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Draft Series, Synchro. This is Michael, aka The Decor, coming to you live from San Diego, California. As I've mentioned before, there was definitely one difficult tournament to record due to the heat. And even after my GoPro burned out, fortunately for me, Manny came in clutch and he actually brought his camera himself. So even though it may not have the same quality as the other rounds, we were still able to get a good amount of footage for the remainder of the rounds. So even though it is a smaller screen, just keep that in mind. But we still bring you the goodies with none other than John versus Daniel on round 3. Let's see what these two duelists can bring forth to the table. And it does look like we're going to be seeing Daniel start things off with the Shiranui Samurai in attack mode. Oh, but he's quickly going to be activating the Revolution Synchron from the hand. If you summon a Power Tool monster or a level 7 or 8 monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. It looks like Daniel was able to pick up a very powerful card that plays straight into the Synchro strategy. And it does look like he's going to be using both those monsters, and he's going to be summoning Michael, the Arc Light Sworn. Look at me in all my glory. He's going to be sitting one more in the back row, and we may just see it pass it back to John. Oh, nope. He's actually going to be activating Revolution Synchron's Graveyard effect. If you control a level 7 or higher Synchro monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, special summon this card. Also, its level becomes 1, and you can only use this effect once per duel. So we're going to see Revolution Synchron summon itself back onto the field by milling the Forceful Sentry onto the graveyard. And now we're going to see it pass back to John. And John is going to start things off with Magnificent Magic-Key Maftiel in attack mode, 1600 attack. And we're going to go straight into the battle phase and go after that Revolution Synchron. Now we're going to see John activate the Gear Breed. We've seen this spell in action before, and it's a very handy tool for him to use. We're going to see him set 2 more in the back and pass it back to Daniel. Now we're going to see the summon of Lumina, Twilight Sworn Shaman in attack mode with 1000 attack. Now we're going to see Daniel go ahead and activate Michael the Arc Light Sworn's effect. Once per turn, you can pay 1000 life points, then target one card in the field, banish that target. And it does look like he's going to be going after one of the back rows. Let's see if John is able to activate it in response. No, it does not. It looks like Daniel's going to be able to banish Shadow Impulse. A very interesting trap there. Next up, it looks like Daniel's going to be activating Power of the Guardians, equipping it to Michael. If an attack is declared involving the equipped monster, place 1 spell counter on this card. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense for each spell counter on this card. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove 1 spell counter from the field instead, giving Michael 1 counter, making him a 3100 force to deal with. And does John have anything in response? Yes, he does. Dark Factory of More Production. You can send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, draw 1 card. So it looks like he's going to be evading that attack to at least net him a draw here. But he is going to be taking some hefty damage. A direct attack from Michael and a direct attack from Lumina. Now after that, it doesn't look like Daniel has much, so we're moving on to the end phase. And in the end phase, Michael is going to trigger. Once per turn, during your end phase, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. And in response, Lumina actually gets to trigger as well. Once per turn, if your other Lightsworn monster's effect is activated, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So he's getting a total of 6 cards being sent directly from the deck onto the grave. The Goblin Circus, Garoth, Jane, Wolf, Tuning Gum, and the other Jane. My goodness, Daniel went deep on the Lightsworns here, and he is indeed going to get that trigger off the Wolf. That's 1 free 2100 body onto the field. We're passing it back to John, and it does look like John is going to be activating his Gear Breed. Opting to forego his draw phase, he's going to be searching he's going to be searching for an equip spell. And of course, the mark of the team rose added to the hand. Now we're going to see John activate that mark straight away, probably targeting the Michael. However, Daniel has Lightsworn Aegis, one of the newest cards to be added to the Lightsworn arsenal. Target face-up cards your opponent controls, up to the number of Lightsworn monsters you control. Negate their effects until the end of this turn. And Daniel has 3 Lightsworns on the field, and that is literally going to negate John's entire field. I certainly hope John has something up his sleeve here. And it does look like he has a little something here with the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. By banishing one equip spell from the field or graveyard, he's going to special summon himself. Oh, but John ain't done. And here it comes. The Mind Master, one of the most powerful tuners in this draft. He's going to pay 800 life points and tribute a monster, except Mind Master, to special summon one level 4 lower monster from the deck in face-up attack position. So by sacrificing Gearfried, he's going to be summoning Supreme Sea Mare. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. And now it looks like John is going to be starting his combo. He's going to be sending none other than Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisian. We've seen just how deadly this combo can be. He's going to be activating Destrudo's graveyard effect. By paying half of his life points, he's going to special summon this card. And if you do, this card's level is reduced by the level of the targeted monster. Also, place this card on the bottom of the deck if it leaves the field. So now he has direct access to a level 7 Synchro. And here it comes. The one, the only, Yazi, evil of the Yang Zing. And now we've definitely got a game in our hands here. We're going to see John activating Yazi's effect, targeting himself and the Michael, the Arc Lightsworn, but the power of the Guardians is going to keep it protected by removing one spell counter from the field instead. However, Yazi has a very powerful graveyard effect. When this card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one monster from your deck in defense position. And here it comes, the banned card itself, the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Onto the field. We're going to activate Red Eyes' effect. During your main phase, you can special summon one monster from your hand or graveyard, except itself. And it looks like he's going after the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried back onto the field. And now that the board is set up, it looks like we're moving onto the battle phase. Gearfried is going to attack into Michael, which is going to trigger his effect. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can equip one face-up monster on the field to this card as an equip spell that gives this card 500 attack. We're going to see Michael, the Arc Lightsworn, be attached to Gearfried as an equipped spell here. Red Eyes is going to attack next, even though that Red Eyes should have been summoned in defense mode due to Yazi's effect, but unfortunately we can't catch everything here. It's also up to the players to keep in mind what is going on in the game. Moving on to main phase 2, Mind Master is going to activate his effect one more time here by sacking the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to summon the one, the only, Clavikeys, the Magic-Key Sky Blaster onto the field, 1900. Oh, and we see precisely why John did what he did. He's going to activate in the hand, Ringo Worm, the dragon, guardian the 100 apples. If a face-up non-effect monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, giving him a tuner and access to the Synchro pool. And we're going to see exactly that. John is going to use the Clavikeys and the Ringo Worm to summon the Underground Arachnid, a level 6 monster here. Once per turn, you can select one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip it to this card, clearing Daniel's entire field here. We see a very interesting equip strategy that John has concocted here. Oh, but he ain't done. Ringo Worm activates in the graveyard. During the main phase, if you Synchro summon this turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon 100 Apples token. The player who summoned it can treat it as a tuner for a Synchro summon. So now he has access to a level 2 tuner on the field. Let's see if he can go any further than he already has. He's going to be using the Mind Master and the Underground Arachnid to summon White Aura, Monoceros, I believe. Hopefully I said that right. When this card is Synchro summoned, you can target one monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but it cannot attack this turn. And he's going after none other than the Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon. Now that is one scary monster, and John knows exactly how to abuse it. He's going to be activating his effect one more time, summoning onto the field the Underground Arachnid from the graveyard. And John ain't done just yet. He's got one tuner left on the field with that 100 apples token, and he brings forth Draco Berserker of the Tenyi onto the field. Now that is one scary thing to go up against. And we do in fact pass it over to Daniel. Let's see if he's able to come up with anything that can combat this dangerous field here. We're going to see him go through his graveyard to see if he has any options left. But it does look like he has to call it a game. And the first game goes to John in a very decisive manner. Even though Daniel was able to start off pretty strong, John was able to get access to his main combo line and did exactly what he needed to do to establish a dangerous board. On to the second game here. I do believe we're going to see John start things off here. So Daniel opted to go second, and we're going to see Supreme Seamare start things off by sending one monster from the deck to the graveyard. And we've seen John do anything, we know exactly where this might be going. Destrudo. We're going to see him activate his effect by paying half of his life points. He's going to summon itself out of the graveyard and give him access to a level 7 Synchro. And we're going after none other than the boy himself, Yazi, evil of the Yang Zing. That is one evil motherfucker. We're going to see John set two more in the back row, not going any further than he needs to, and passing it back to Daniel. We're going to see Daniel draw, and we're going to see the summon of Jane, Twilight Sworn General. And we're going to see the Revolution Synchron back in the hand, giving him direct access to that Synchro pool. And we're going straight into none other than me, the Arc Lightsworn. Alright, let's see these two monsters go at it. We're going to see Daniel try and activate the effect of Michael here by paying 1,000 life points, but unfortunately for him, Yazi cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. I'm telling you guys, that is one formidable Synchro monster. So we do see him going after one of the back rows instead and hitting the Furikazan. We saw how deadly that trap could be in one of the previous games. So that's at least one thing to get out of the way. Now we're going to see Daniel activate Revolution Synchron's effect in the graveyard. It's going to summon itself back onto the field as a level 1 by sending the top card of the deck to the graveyard. And Daniel hits the Fairy Tale Snow, which we previously saw in Germ's deck, which more than likely means that he did in fact defeat Germ in one of the matches. And in true Battle City rules, he got to take what he wanted from his deck. And unfortunately, why? Oh, I am sorry guys. I tell you, if there's anybody that feels the pain and the heartfelt sorrow for not being able to get the entire match, it is me. So my sincere apologies for that. We were still able to see just how fleshed out some of these decks have become throughout the tournament, not only giving each player access to some very powerful cards, but being able to maneuver and constantly add consistency to your deck by winning throughout this tournament. Again, my deepest apologies for not being able to get the entirety of the match, but we do see that John ended up coming out on top from this match, and we keep it moving. On to the next round. See you soon.